Alright, lacing strips are stitched. I'm in the process of attempting eyelets, but this all is insufficient. I am struggling because I have folded it over so there are 3 layers of the couture and 2 layers of the cotton, and because I sandwiched a layer of couture in between the folded over lacing strip, so it's real thick, and I've got the bones in there, but the bones aren't doing a whole lot to hold it up. Like it's just very structured. I'm having a hard time poking a hole with the awl that's big enough for the grommet to go through, so I'm going to sleep on this and see if I can think of something that might work better. I think part of the problem is my awl is fancy and this handle is not conducive to jabbing it through fabric because it's just like not ergonomically sound. I need something that's got a beefier handle, that's longer, that I can gouge easier. That sounds like I'm a psychopath, but I promise it's just fabric that I'm gouging at the moment, because the hole that I have is not big enough to fit the grommet through. And if I can't put the grommet through the hole, then I can't use the clampy thing. Alright, I'm going to bed. Happy Saturday, good people. I wanted to check in and just share the ridiculousness with you of these eyelets that I'm putting in. So I have my awl, and the handle's too short, so it hurts. And I've got my eyelets. Well, the awl is not big enough to punch a hole in the fabric that is gonna have the eyelet fit through. So I was trying to find our leather kit that has the hole punching tools in it, but since we've moved, neither of us has any real idea where it is. So, tried the chopstick. Chopstick still isn't wide enough. What I ended up using is this Lila Rose hair stick that came with my hairband, because once I get the hole started with the sharp point of the awl, I can widen it with that. And it's leaving a black residue on the fabric, but you can't see it once the eyelet goes in. So it's fine. And the eyelets are ugly, but they're not hard. Like, they're not sharp. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. They just need to function and not tear up the cord. Alright, I'm gonna go finish this lacing strip and do this whole one. There are 20 eyelets total. I have 2 done. Good times. Alright, eyelets are in, lacing panels are basted on, and it's on. Ha ha ha. So I'm gonna take you in the bathroom in a second and show you what it looks like. It looks pretty good, but it's like basically closed in the back, and I'm about to measure my waist to see. It should be 35 or smaller, but I don't think we're down that far, and it's basically closed. So hang on. Okay, so Zach is holding the camera rather than us being in the bathroom. He's also one-handed playing video games. So this is what it looks like from the front, but then if you turn around, you can see that, like, it's closed in the back, and I'm still not, there's not a lot of support happening here. There's some gapping in the waist, but I just measured and it's 36 inches. Like, with the lacing panels being basted on, didn't feel comfortable tightening it a whole lot more, and I knew it was close. And this is just me tightening it by myself, which I'm super excited about, because this means that Zach doesn't have to lace me in every time. So yay, front closing busk. It's awesome. So yeah, that's what we are. I'm not gonna show you Destiny. There's
plenty of other content on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take the lacing panel in, probably by like an inch on each side at least. I'm gonna go measure and see how far I can take it in, and then I will show you again. All right, so here we are. It is Sunday afternoon, and I have refit the corset. I will show you what the back looks like in a second, but basically what I did was I took in, let me use the pattern piece to show you. I took in the lacing panel, it folds in half like this. I took it in, this is the seam allowance, all the way to the edge of the boning here. And then I took in the side panels from 5/8 of an inch seam allowance to, I stitched at 1 inch. And I think I'm gonna need to take it in just a little bit more because it fully closes at the back and there's not a lot of room for like weight fluctuation in the downward direction. So here's what it looks like in the mirror. All right, so this is what it looks like from the front. And then the back view here, you can see it, please forgive the pirate PJs. It laces like, ugh, camera work. It laces all the way closed here at the top. And I could even that out a little bit, but if I lose any weight here, this is no longer going to fit and be supportive. So I need to take this in a little bit more at these top panels here and here, but I think it's good going down. And that's going to give me maximum back support and posture support and bust support, so that's important. Okay, so I don't remember when the last time was that I checked in, but it is Friday, December 11th at 3:30. So what I'm going to do before in the next like 30 minutes between being done with work and going to pick up the tiny human from school, I'm going to start working on the bodice mock-up round 2, because that you can see like even on the dress form, which for some reason is measuring 35 inches but it's not fitting right, like you can see like I cut out a pattern and it is like way too big. So I'm going to start tracing out the pattern pieces and just sort of roughly blocking them out and trying to alter them so that I can make the bodice mock-up, because I bit the bullet and I ordered some navy velvet. It's polyester, again, it's poly velvet, but I'm honestly super excited about this costume, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And I ordered, it's 45 inches wide. I ordered 4 yards of it. Hopefully that's enough for the sleeves, and the bodice, I think it should be. And then we'll work on the overskirt as well, because I now have the corset at a point, well, I had the corset at a point where I can do mock-ups over it. What I had to do with this, let me just talk you through. You can see where I had the original stitch line at 5/8 of an inch, and that was too big. It was lacing basically closed. And then I took it in to 1 inch and pulled that out because it was better, but it was still a little too loose, specifically on the top. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna line up the boning channels, because what I'm worried is gonna happen is I want this to last, and what I'm worried is gonna happen is I'm gonna continue to lose weight, and my weight is gonna fluctuate, and it's just like not gonna fit by the time that I'm able to wear it like out to see other humans. So I'm just gonna line up the boning channel on the lacing panel and this boning channel here and stitch them next to each other, and then fold it over and just have this be the measurement of the corset with the lacing panel. So that's the plan. I will do that eventually, but right now I need Zach's help because my fingers don't do this. When I was doing the fitting, let me see if I can find it. I popped an eyelet, and that's just, it wasn't secured properly because my eyelet press sucks. I need a tabletop one. My friend and I are talking about having a timeshare eyelet press that we have together, the tabletop one. but I can't redo that until I unknot this, and my nails are super frail and bend easily, so I can't undo this knot. So I'm gonna wait. Can't do that until Zach gets home, and I don't want to bind the corset. Like, I have to bind the lacing strips. I don't want to do any of that with the lacing in, and I have to bind the corset, but I want to like wait until I have the eyelet fixed, and then I can do the binding. The binding is probably going to be a later tonight activity, or tomorrow activity. So that's where we are with that. But it's at the point where if I needed to, even with the binding not finished, once I attach the lacing panels back on the way that they need to be, once I finish the binding on the corset and put the lacing panels back on and fix that eyelet, at any point I can try on a mock-up of the bodice on myself to make sure that it actually fits the way I want it to. So I can actually move forward with the bodice and not have that. Because honestly, like, that's kind of sad. Like, it's close to the shape I want, but it's huge. It's huge. Anyway, I'm gonna go work on this so I can actually get something done before I have to go pick up the tiny human. Happy Saturday, friends! It's about 2:30 in the afternoon on Saturday, December 12th. I just thought I would check in and show you what I'm working on. I got the mock-up of the bodice done, and it's on the dress form, and it's inside out so that I can muck with the seams. I think these seams, I need to try these seams here. I need to try it on, but I think the seams are not where they're supposed to be, because I think this is supposed to be like a princess seam, and it's supposed to run across the, whoop, I'm getting a phone call, hang on. I just got the phone call that my car is ready. It needed an oil change. It's needed an oil change and a tire rotation since March. Or since May, but we were moving and it's the plague. So here we are. It's December and I'm finally getting it done 6 months later. It's fine. It's probably fine. I haven't been driving anyway. Where have I been going? But anyway, so I think, back to what I was talking about. I think I'm still working out how I want to do the neckline, because I want it to be like seamless. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend both of these pieces up and then draw on how I want the neckline to be on the next mock-up, or maybe I'll just like stick some fabric in here and draw on there what I want the neckline to look like. But I want to try it on first, because I think these seams are supposed to go like right over the central point of the bust, and at least on Daisy, that's not where it's hitting. It's too far over this way. But I don't know what it's going to look like on me in a corset, because Daisy and I are not the same shape. And there's only so much I can change her shape, so we'll find out. So I'm going to try it on, but that means I have to finish the corset, which I'm working on right now. I have extracted the eyelet, the rogue eyelet that had popped off, and it was just the back part, the washer, that had popped off. I don't think it had gotten actually clamped because there are so many layers of fabric that the eyelet was trying to clamp through. And so prying the eyelet itself out of the fabric was a feat. It was a struggle. But I got it out and I got a new eyelet in, and it seems to have grabbed onto the washer, so the washer should stay in place. And now I am putting the bias tape on the corset to finish the top and the bottom. So you can see this is the finished edge, and it looks so much nicer. I was worried that I didn't like it and that it looked messy and was ugly, but it looks a lot nicer now that it's finished. Shocking, I know. When you make the finishing details on a thing, it's nicer. I also am gonna need to wash this because it's got all this blue marker from marking all the boning channels and all that stuff, and that part where I bled on it. And I tried to use yellow chalk, and now it just looks dingy. I was trying to use my water-soluble pen stopped working, and I needed something that was going to survive the iron so that I could press this, and the yellow chalk was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that, because now the fabric just looks dingy and gross. So I'm going to wash it probably at some point between finishing it and when I'm going to wear it out to see other humans, which I don't know when that's gonna be, because because we live in the time of the plague. When am I going to see people? I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And I ordered the fabric for the bodice. I have decided I'm putting a zipper in the bodice because I'm not putting eyelets in velvet of any kind ever. Well, no, I won't say ever. I am currently not putting eyelets in velvet. Not for this project. Again, the Barbie dress closes with Velcro. Velcro is uncomfortable. I'm not going to use Velcro. I will use a zipper. It's all polyester anyway. It's fine. And I don't have to worry about there being strain on the zipper and the zipper pulling out because I'll be wearing the corset underneath it, so all the strain is on the corset itself and not on the bodice. It's just like helping everything lay nice and smooth. But I'm really excited. I'm getting hype about this again. I had reached a point where I was like over it, but now I'm getting excited again, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna go finish sewing this bias tape on, and then I need to reattach. I need to reattach the lacing panels to the corset. Again, I'm gonna butt up this boning channel with this boning channel and just sew straight up that line. I will probably use a zipper foot just so I don't break a needle. I had a sewist confession here. I had a nightmare that I was sewing the binding on the corset and I hit one of the metal bones, one of the straight steel bones with the needle and broke the needle, and a piece of the needle somehow managed to lodge itself in my eye even though I was wearing my glasses. Dreams are irrational, but that is like my fear. My two fears in life are breaking a needle and having a piece fly off and hit me in the eye. And this one actually, like, there's a reason for that. The needle breaking is scary, but I've never actually had a piece of the needle fly off because it's attached to the piece of the needle that breaks is still attached to the thread that's in the sewing machine. Still a fear, but my other fear is running my finger underneath the presser foot and sewing my finger. And that one is because my grandmother, when she was teaching me how to sew, my grandmother had that happen to her, or had someone she knows had that happen to her. So anytime my fingers got anywhere close to the presser foot, she would like overreact and yell. So I'm super scared of that. I have been not traumatized, but like a healthy fear has been instilled in me of your finger running over the presser foot, even though I don't know if that's a thing that can happen on this machine. It is apparently a thing that can happen on that machine. So that healthy fear will probably come in handy when I start using the 1920s sewing machine. Since we are off for 2 weeks, I am going to be working to get that machine up and running. There is a local guy who does old machines, so I'm going to try to get an appointment with him when I am not in school doing school things. I also need to arrange, Elna and Grace need a day at the spa, but I can't be without a sewing machine because I might have a meltdown. So back to corset making. Well, it happened. I sewed over a bone and it broke my needle. And I actually, for the first time ever, had pieces of the needle that were not still attached to the sewing machine in some way. The needle broke into 4 pieces. However, none of them flew up and hit me in the eye through my glasses somehow. So it's fine, right? Lived my worst fear, lived to tell the tale. Totally fine, right? I'm double checking the rest of the bones and then I'm gonna replace the needle in the machine and keep sewing. So it's evening now. We've picked up my car and I have finished the corset.
Wait, who are you talking to?
I am talking to the camera. Can you say hello to the people?
Hello.
Alright, I am gonna wear this for bath time and bedtime procedures, and then I'm gonna tighten it, because you're supposed to wear your corset for a little bit and then tighten it and then wear it for a little bit and then tighten it. And we also just finished eating dinner and it was steak and potatoes. And so I'm gonna wear this and then tighten it and then do a waist measurement, but And then I'm going to show you guys the lacing in the back, because the way that I sewed the back panel together has solved my problem, and it looks really good now, and it's just, it fits really nicely, and it's really comfortable. The hardest part so far has been getting up from the couch, and that's just because I'm used to like slouching on the couch, and this prevents me from doing that because, you know, there's a steel rod down here and I can't bend it that far. And so that was challenging, but that was challenging because my posture is terrible, and this is correcting my posture. So I'm gonna go do bath time and then tighten it and then check in again. All right, so this is post bath time. I was able to give Emma a bath and lean over the bathtub and wash her and get her ready for bed, and didn't have any issues other than that I had to change shirts because my t-shirt, it was cutting into my underarms. But this is what the corset looks like. I've laced it down. I do have a 35-inch waist, and this is what the lacing looks like in the back. You can see that it's, those are the tails. And like, it's even, it's parallel. There's about an inch here between the panels. So I definitely know that I need to size down because of how much I've taken out of the lacing panels, in addition to the fact that there's only an inch here. There should be between 1 and 3 inches, but that means that if I lose any more weight, I'm gonna, like, if I can lace down any further, I'm gonna have a problem. But like, I don't have any problems. I can bend and move. Like, I can breathe. I wouldn't like run a marathon, but I don't think I would do that without a corset right now. But it's supportive, it's reducing my waist, it's making everything be held in, and the one thing that is slightly uncomfortable is it is correcting my posture, which I'm realizing in wearing this is really bad. But that's a me thing. My posture is just really bad normally. So now I'm going to do a fitting of that bodice over the corset, and then I'm going to take this off for the night, and I'm going to add some finishing touches. I'm going to put some lace detail here, and then I'm going to do some flossing where the boning is. And the flossing, while it's pretty, it's also functional. The goal of the flossing is to hold the bones where they're supposed to be and not let them move around in the boning channels and then poke out of the boning channel. Because at that point, like, you can't fix it then. So that's the plan. I will check in when I'm doing a fitting. So Thanks for that, dear. Yes, camera's running. So I just tried to do another bodice mock-up using those pattern pieces modified again, and it didn't work again. And so I've just decided to scrap it. I'm done trying. I am gonna just drape it and then modify it from the drape, because honestly, that's like 1,000 times easier than the shit. I'm over it. I'm done. All right, let's try this.